Welcome back, guys. So here's another trade recap. Right now, I'm just in the process of solidifying my approach to the market, which I think does make sense. I was doing another session, but like I wasn't really getting anything. I think it was in the November session, and took one loss coming into February already. I really didn't get anything in January. A lot of break evens, lots of only 3 wins to 4 losses. I mean, I ended up in the green, so I mean, hey, that's something. But in all honesty, this month was kind of rough. There wasn't a lot of like good setups. Um, and I don't even remember if I don't even think these break evens were necessarily going to work out. I think the price didn't go anywhere and like my break even saved me. So obviously my break even or my stop loss is doing its job. These losses, I don't quite remember why I ended up getting these losses. I think either I was just wrong about the draw, not following my rules, such as like maybe putting in the high of day and then not waiting for that continuation confluence. So that's usually risky. So that's probably why I really do need to follow that rule, right? If we're putting in the high of the day or the low of the day, you don't want to take the first change in state of delivery or the CISD. You want to wait for a continuation confluence. And in most cases, I wasn't waiting for that. And I think that's why I ended up taking these losses. If I just follow that rule, I'm less likely to get taken out of the market or even be in trades that I'm not supposed to be in. The last Friday of the month, I did get a good trade. But in all honesty, a lot of this was not a good month. I don't think it really didn't offer much. Took my first loss in February. Now, why did I take this loss? Not sure. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna continue this session. It's just like I wasn't getting any bites. But the thing is, it's not that I was wrong about the draw and like I didn't get a win. It just like the market just wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. You know what I mean? It just wasn't moving how it was supposed to be moving. So there was generally honestly nothing and really in January. And then February now, one loss. Why did I take that loss? Don't even freaking remember. Let's see if I actually have anything still on the chart that I didn't erase. Um, let's go down to 3 minute. Maybe I had no, I don't know. Yeah, but as you can see, what the frick is this, bro? Like, what am I looking at? You know, like, generally, what am I looking at? Anyways, oops. Actually, yeah. So let's just go back to learning focus. So I started a new session for learning focus. I'm starting over right now. So basically what I'm doing is I'm following this guy that's back testing. So I'm taking the trades first and then I'm seeing how he does. He's a little bit better than me. So that's kind of what I'm doing, trying to, because he trades exactly how I'm trading and he's better than me. So if I do something wrong, I can see where I went wrong. So it's kind of like someone standing over your shoulder and telling you like what you're doing wrong without someone actually being there. But right now I have the 3 wins up on the month. I would say right now, 2018 April, like, yeah, like this is like how these trades are exactly how I envision them working out. And this is exactly how I was trading in that last session that you saw, but like their price was just not pricing, bro. So, I'm gonna go over this one. Didn't hit full TP. We ended up barreling up and price was like kind of messing around. So I ended up taking like off like 75% of the trade. And I think if I had maybe a tighter entry, which I don't really know if it was necessarily a good idea, I'm not really mad at how I played this trade. Um, so yeah, I do think so. It didn't hit full TP. It didn't even get to full TP, so I ended up having to take a partial because it did actually end up going back against me. So again, did the right thing, moved myself to break even, took some off when I saw that price wasn't really continuing to the upside, which is honestly just good practice. Now, with that being said, let's get into it, right? Okay, so looking at the daily chart, what is going to be our draw? What's going to be our draw on liquidity? What's going to be our bias? So obviously this looks really bearish, right? You'd probably think, oh, we're bearish, probably, because we've been down so much, so much. Honestly, yeah, the order flow has been bearish, but you have to take some other things into consideration, primarily phases and price, right? You can also reference the weekly chart and just see, like, hey, obviously it looks really bearish, right? I would assume we're bearish too, or at least my old self would have assumed we're bearish. But we have SMTs here at the lows, right? So it's something, but we don't know if it's a fake SMT. What if it's a fake SMT and the market's just trying to trip us up, and we're not actually going up to the upside? Now, how can you tell what the actual draw is, right? Biggest change to my trading journey, biggest change to my ability to determine daily bias is looking at phases in price. So obviously it's not 100% clear on the daily, definitely not. But if you go to the 4 hour, you can see that, oh shoot, we've been up, right? So going back to daily real quick, right? You also have to take in the weekly profile, right? So this is a Monday. Oh shoot, sorry, never mind. Oh crap. So this is a Wednesday, right? Wednesday swept out Monday's low and then barreled up. So I'm thinking, okay, we were originally going down. I was assuming this was our high of day, but we just went down and took that shit out, right? So this is a open low, and then high, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, Wednesday probably just put in the low of the week. So I'm expecting expansion away, right? But not only that, if you look at the 4 hour, you can tell, like, what does this look like? This looks like a clear reversal. Why does it look like a reversal? Because we took out this low and closed back up above this high. This would be considered a CISD type situation, right? Even though, yeah, because we closed above this black candle, right? We have SMTs at the lows. Right here, just like that. And even if you're like, okay, well, sure, whatever, that's not really clear to me, right? How else can you tell? Well, you have to understand phases in price. If we were going to continue to the downside, I would not have wanted to see this high, right? This does not support continuous bearish expansion to the downside. The fact that we took this high, we traded above it. And you could be like, well, this high, we're still No, we're not. We traded above it. We traded above it on ES, and we're really close to, we're edging this high, this would be considered a failure swing right here. It seems like we want to go higher. I really don't know how else easier to explain it. You just have to understand signatures and price. But this move here coming into this Wednesday, this area down here does not support continuous expansion to the downside. We just had a change in state of delivery. We closed back above this, and it looks like we're pushing up. And I guess if you understand market structure, right, if we're bearish, right, where is the, where is it? The line drawing thing. I'm so confused. Is it, no, it's not that. I'm trying to draw a line for you guys so you can see. Can I use like, wait. Here we go. Okay, so if we're like having a downtrend, right, you want to go down. If you understand bearish market structure, right, you want to go down, respect 50% down, respect 50% down, respect 50%, right? Yes. Now, how do you know when a bear trend has been broken? When we, oh crap, I ended it. When we go down, crap, wrong one. Wow. When we go down and take out when we close above the previous high, right? This is what we'd call a CISD, change in state of delivery. That's exactly what we saw here. And what else is confirming that? This, I literally just blanked, this SMT at the lows, right? So understanding phases and price that, hey, this signature right here does not support continuous expansion to the downside. This looks like we're going back up. And then taking into account the weekly profile, if we were going to continue to go lower, yes, Wednesday you could see a midweek reversal and you could go retrace, but I wouldn't want to see this high. I wouldn't want to see it. And even if we did see this high, right, I would want us to react off of it and go immediately back down, maybe a little bit here and then down. I wouldn't want to come all the way back out here and take this high, right? It just does not support continuous expansion to the downside. It just doesn't, right? So that was a very lengthy explanation, but with that being said, phases and price plays a huge part in determining what the bias is going to be for the day. Now, okay, I'm bullish, right? I'm bullish. Going down to the 1 hour, what do I need to see to take a bullish trade? I need to see a sweep, slash SMT. I prefer to see an SMT put in, actually. So initially we got the sweep, but we never had the SMT, and I was like, I don't know. I could take a trade based on a sweep, totally, but I prefer an SMT. So as soon as I saw this sweep, right, mind you, this SMT hadn't yet been put in, but I saw the sweep. So at this point I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to go back up, I want to see maybe a 50-minute model, a 30-minute or 50-minute model. We did end up putting in, I think I went to the 15 because like 30 minutes just a little bit. So obviously we kind of just kept on going to the downside like this, but we actually ended up putting in an SMT here, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I waited. I had to wait until like roughly like 10 o'clock for this, putting in an SMT. And then I basically was like, all right, cool. And then I was waiting for a change in state of delivery. I think we had this, right? The only issue with this is that we're in a fair value gap here, and actually no, don't even look at that because I don't think the SMT had been put in yet. I think I would actually no, I take that back. Even we had a sweep, and I was like, okay, we don't have an SMT, but I would like to see a change in state of delivery. We don't get one. We get one here, right? We do get one, but I was a little bit skeptical. And the reason why I was skeptical is because we're coming right into that 10 a.m. candle, and that 10 a.m. candle can retrace. And I think I ended up, let me go back to the hour. I ended up marking out the equilibrium of this candle here, I think on both assets. You can see it here, right here. I think I erased, because if that 10 a.m. candle is going to support expansion, I wouldn't really want us to see us come back down to this equilibrium point, or at the very least, I'd like to see us maybe tap it and then retrace higher. But we ended up coming below. I'm going to go down to 3 minutes. We ended up coming to it, right? So I waited until 10, and then I didn't see. I was waiting. If we were going to expand, right, I would want to see us close above this order block here on both assets. We did get a closure on ES, but we never got a closure on NASDAQ, which is why I was extremely skeptical here. So I wanted to see a closure on NASDAQ, especially the asset that put in the SMT, trade close above this. We never got that. And then we started going back down into the equilibrium point of that wick, and I was like, ooh, if we were going to expand, I wouldn't want to see that. So this was honestly a little bit of a tricky trade, huh? So then I was like waiting. At this point, I was like, okay, I was like, okay, I don't know if we're going to get anything. But we ended up coming down, putting in this SMT, and I was like, oh, okay. And then you also want to pay attention to what time it is, right? This is 10:48, kind of late in the session, but we can still see some expansion coming up on that 11 a.m. candle potentially. So I was like, all right. So what I need to see a closure. Not even, honestly, I don't even know if I'd trust this. And the reason why I wouldn't trust this CISD here is because if you look at ES, we're kind of chopping around. So I was like skeptical on this. So I zoomed out to the 5 minute, and I was like, see, look, on the 5 minute, this is chop, right? So I was like, ooh, I don't know. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to take a long, I need a closure above this at least, minimum, right? I need a closure. And lo and behold, we got it. And I was like, oh, shoot, great. So this is when I decided to enter, and I decided to enter on ES. Why? Honestly, I think ES is just a stronger asset. And yeah, I think, so essentially I entered here. I put my stop below the 50% of, as you can see, wait, hold on. Let me try and get that up for you. I'm trying to tap on the 50%, but I can't even tap it. It won't let me tap it. Okay. As you can see, it's from this low to this high. And then I kind of just put my stop below 50%. Somewhere at the body is probably here or here. Because realistically speaking, if we're expanding, I wouldn't want to see us come back down there anyways. And yeah, I was targeting 1 to 2, but we never saw that high. And I kind of, at this point, we were lagging around. We did technically take out London highs at this point, so I was like, ooh, So I saw this stall and I just took 75% off because I was like, okay, I don't know if it's going to get there. And then once I saw this, I think it was either this or this candle, I was like, or I think when I was comparing it with NASDAQ, I think like this candle in comparison to, I was like, all right. So I took 75% off again. And then honestly, I just let it go and it hit me and took me out at break even. Now, could I have gotten a better entry? I think so, but I think it would have been a riskier entry. I think you could have, at the very least, entered here. I don't know if I would take the first change in state of delivery. I'd probably wait for this one, and we did actually get it. And you could have put your stop here at the wick, and then you would have gotten your 1 to 2. But I personally think that this is a riskier entry, because if you look on if you go back to the 5-minute, we're still kind of in chop. I think that CISD right there entry would have been close to this candle here, which would have then took you up to the upside. So that would have been the better entry. I just think it's a little riskier though. But yeah, that was basically this trade. I think I played this really well. And the guy I'm watching that did this day as well, he actually ended up taking a loss, but he ended up trading short, which he did actually get the bias correctly, but I guess his stop was just a little bit too tight. So he ended up taking a loss. Kind of proud of this then, because he is technically better than me. But I'm really proud of how I played this, so that's great. And yeah, that's that trade. Gonna keep going, see what I can do here. Up 4%. But at the end of the day, I do want to be able to do this myself. To be honest, how I'm trading in this is completely the same way how I was trading in that last session I showed you at the beginning of the video. The only issue is that the market wasn't offering really anything much, to be honest. So yeah, I do think the trades that I'm taking here in April 2018 are a lot nicer, a lot more clear, a lot more straightforward. So yeah, I'll just see if that continues. But honestly, the goal is to be able to do this by myself, which I already can. I'm just getting some confirmation that I'm doing it correctly, and to be able to make that 6% plus by myself. And obviously, that has been the goal since the start of this channel, and the journey continues. Nobody said this was going to be easy, but hey, I do honestly like the way this trading method. I think it's a lot more fluid. It works basically in any market condition. And it's not really a matter of taking one or the other setup. I just think this is honestly an approach to trade the market in general. Just trade the market in general, basically. But, yeah, with that being said, if you have any comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.